Welcome to Nature via Nurture. This is Unit 4, Day 18, so congrats, you've made it this far. My name is Miss Mac, and I am your internet teacher. I'm actually, fun fact, a robot. Anyway, moving on. What are we doing today? We have two stations. The first station is a data analysis with a graph, and the second station is reading and answering questions. So this video is going to hopefully help guide you through those stations. Station 1, data analysis. Here is your independent work. Please pause this video, pull up your independent work slides, or maybe it's a Google Doc, whatever your real-life human teacher, non-robot, told you to do. So pause this video to pull up your independent work. Alright, hopefully you have it up now. Follow along as I read out loud. Station 1, Plant Growth, Strawberry Plants. This study from 2004 looked at how different types and amounts of fertilizers affected the growth of strawberry plants. The growth of the strawberry plants was measured in weight, which is shown in kilograms, kg. The amounts of organic fertilizers were measured in tons per hectare, which is abbreviated by T/HA. The study measured the effects of 3 different types of fertilizers: inorganic, the type you can buy at the store; food waste, which is compost, so if you have like a leftover banana peel, that is compostable; and paper waste, which is recycled paper. The study's findings are recorded in the graph on the next slide. So let's go to the next slide. The study's findings are recorded in the graph below. We have kg, which is kilograms per plant, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Then we have our fertilizers: inorganic fertilizer, food waste, paper waste. And so these two have different volumes of fertilizer that they used. So they used different amounts of these food waste and paper waste fertilizers. Alright, so here are our questions. Which type and amount of fertilizer led to the most strawberry plant growth? Is fertilizer an environmental factor or a genetic factor, and why? Or genetic factor, not a genetic factor. So let's go back to the graph. We have 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Just a reminder, this is kilograms per plant. So if we look at the reading, the growth of the strawberry plants was measured in weight. That's important, which is shown in kilograms. So this is the weight of the plant in kilograms, and these are the different fertilizers. So keep that in mind when you're answering this question. If you're having trouble getting started, you can use these sentence starters. So the type and amount of fertilizer that led to the most strawberry plant growth was, and then you are going to pick one of these 5 categories. So you are either going to pick inorganic fertilizer, food waste at 5, food waste at 10, or paper waste at 5, or paper waste at 10. And those numbers again are in tons per hectare, and make sure you include those units whenever you're answering your questions. The second part is fertilizer an environmental factor or genetic factor, and why? So if you're having trouble answering this question, you can say the fertilizer is an environmental factor because ... say how you know, or the fertilizer is a genetic factor because ... So pause this video, answer these questions on your own. Alright, hopefully you have those questions answered. Let's move on to Station 2, which is reading and answering questions. Here is your independent work. Hopefully you have this up and can follow along. So Station 2, Plant Growth Corn. Please read along as I read out loud. The corn we eat today evolved from the teosinte or teosinte plant. Teosinte doesn't look much like the corn, maize we eat today, but the genes of these two plants are very similar. There are only about 5 genes responsible for the differences you see. So we have a diagram here. This is what we eat, and this is a plant that kind of gave us corn. These 5 genes cause big changes. The corn you eat today has more kernels that are softer, larger, and a very different shape than teosinte. So here's a for reference, just the plants. So we have the original teosinte plant, and this is kind of what it looked like. And then we have a more similar today's corn, like this. Here is our independent work. Our questions are, how is the corn we eat today different than its ancestor? And are these differences due to genetics or environment, and why? So take a second to answer these questions. Not a second, more than a second. But if you're having trouble getting started, you can use these sentence starters. The corn we eat today is different from teosinte because ... And you're going to need to go back to the reading to check to see if you have the right answer here. And the second question, these differences are due to, and then pick one, genetics or the environment, because, and then explain your answer. So pause this video now to answer these questions. All right. And that is the end of this video. It was super short. Hopefully you were able to complete all of your independent work in a good amount of time. I will see you next week, or maybe the week after that, or maybe the week after that, or maybe the week after that, or the week after that, or the week after.